I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'll live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life. I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. By thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Hollow Sports All Plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. Hollow Sports All Plays.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports enthusiasts, and fellow fans, welcome to the College Breakdown Show. I am your host, Ray Cruz, right here on the All Sports All Place Network. I am thrilled to have you join me today as we dive headfirst into the exciting world of college football. As the countdown of 2023 college football season begins, we are here on the All Sports All Place Network, really here to equip you with all the insight, analysis, and excitement you need to stay ahead of the game. Over the next 3 hours, we're going to embark on a journey through one powerhouse conference, the Southeastern Conference and the Sun Belt Conference. We're going to talk about the systematic shifts taking place in the college football landscape. The Pac-12 is experiencing some major changes as some of its teams are making moves to new conference. Will delivered into particulars of which teams are saying goodbye to the Pac-12 and where they're heading. Plus, we got our ears to the ground on the latest discussion between the ACC and two West Coast heavyweights, Stanford and California. Could we see some cross-country conference realignment? Stick around and to find out. So fasten your seatbelt, sports enthusiasts, because this season is set to be one of the record books with exciting matchup, intense rivalries, and unexpected twists. We're here to bring you all the action and analysis you're craving. Now let's focus on the Southeastern Conference, the powerhouse in college football, known for its fierce competition and passion fans base. We'll take an in-depth look at the teams poised to make a splash this season. From powerhouse programs, rising contenders, we'll analyze their roster, coaching changes, and off-season development that could shape the course of the season, whether you're cheering for Alabama Crimson Tide or the Georgia Bulldogs or the Florida Gators or Vanderbilt. We got you covered with the latest prediction insight. Let's get right to it. Let's start off with the Alabama Crimson Tide for their preview of the 2023 season. So, Alabama, what do we know? They're impressive. The 2022 season with an overall record of 11-2, including a 6-2 in the SEC, under the season guidance of head coach Nick Saban. Now that he is entering his 17th year with the team, Alabama continues to set high standards for itself. As well, all know Alabama dominance for the college scene is particularly legendary, but the expectations are always sky high, rightfully so. The Crimson Tides have secured their spot as one of the top 4 teams in the nation year after year, and this season it will be no different. However, the 2022 season, Alabama faced a few challenges on their path to success, despite a 11-2 record. There were notable losses, including a road game against Tennessee and LSU. These close defeats highlight that even for Alabama, a single failure could potentially dash their college football playoff hopes. Coach Nick Saban drives for perfection, led him to express his concerns about the playoff system, but Alabama must rise above any controversy and leave no doubt about their claim to a top spot in the college playoff this season. The SEC is fierce battleground this year. Alabama faced more question marks than they have in a long time. The competition is going to be as tough as ever, and they'll need to navigate through a schedule filled with potential traps and challenges. Let's shift our focus to the offensive side of the ball. Last year, Alabama's offense was operating at its absolute best, yet still averaging an impressive 477 yards and 41 points per game. Bryce Young was the key to their success, demonstrating his value under center. But look ahead, that the starting quarterback position is a question mark this season. Jalen says Jalen Monroe and Ty Simpson are all vibing the role, while passing accuracy might be a concern. Alabama's quarterback legacy suggests that whoever steps under will be ready to shine. The wide receiver core is undergoing changes, but with the return of Jermaine Burton and Jake Corey Brooks, there are hope for a dynamic passing game. Keep an eye on a JUCO transfer, Malik Benson, who brings versatility to their offense. As always, the offensive line will play a crucial role, though young and changing, is expected to hold up and provide necessary protection for Alabama's quarterback and running backs. Let's now move over to the defensive side of the ball for Alabama. Alabama maintains a solid ranking in various categories last season, but there were moments of inconsistency, particularly in stopping the run and preventing big plays. The defense will miss the presence of Will Anderson, but players like Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner are poised to step up and keep the pass rush strong. The secondary is led by standout Coulier McKinstry, can potentially create more turnovers this year. Alabama's front three will once again feature massive, agilic linemen who can disrupt opponents' plans. The depth and talents within the defensive line will be a key to maintain pressure and stopping the run. Despite challenges, Alabama's defense remains formidable. With improvements and adjustments, they can continue to be a force to be reckoned with in the SEC. As we look ahead into 2023 season, there is a sense of urgency for Alabama to prove itself once again. The expectations are high, the competition is fierce, and the journey will be challenging. The challenge lies in winning games and in minimize mistakes, penalties that can cost them crucial moments. Alabama's success hinges on maintaining composure under pressure and playing disciplined football. While the season might be a test for the Crimson Tide, it is important to remember that underestimating Alabama is a dangerous move. Their track record of excellence and determination to success makes them one of the top contenders in college football. The key game to watch out for this season is their matchup against Texas on September 9th after a close call in the previous season. This game serves a measuring stick for Alabama. A convincing win would reaffirm their dominance and set the tone for the rest of the season. Now, let's take a moment and recognize some standout players on Alabama roster. Coulier McKinstry, J.C. Latham, Dallas Turner, Malik Moore, Dante Lawson are just a few of the stars who will play a pivotal role in the success of this team. As we set our expectation for this season, we must acknowledge the challenges ahead of Alabama is in for a regenerative journey with a shifting line up and tough competition. What is my prediction of the Crimson Tides for the 2023 season? While it's always tall order to meet the high standards of Alabama set for itself, we believe they will win at least 10 games in the regular season. The road will be bumped, but their talent, determination, and history of success gives them a strong chance of achieving this goal. As we learned from their past, Alabama has a knack for overcoming obstacles and providing their doubters wrong. With a completion of experienced players, fresh talent, they have the potential to continue their legacy as one of the top teams in college football. This wraps up the preview of Alabama, but I got a little bit more to go here on this Alabama team. With the loss of Bryce Young at quarterback, that's going to be the bright spot. That's going to be the thing that we need to watch for Alabama right now. It's the bright spot of Alabama. What quarterback will step up? Will they do about platoon quarterbacks? This is a thing that has not come up in the past because they had Bryce Young, they had Jalen Hurts for the last 7 years. Then you had Mac Jones taking Mac Jones in there. We're now in a tough situation for Alabama right now because we don't know the extent of the quarterback situation. We have not seen them in game time situation. They might be doing good in practice. We don't know how they're going to translate when the bright lights come on. Alabama's got holes on that offense right now. Will they lean heavily on the run at the beginning of the season? Or teams dictate playing 8-man in the box now since they don't have Bryce Young to bail? That game against Texas will be a test for Alabama and see where they stand in quarterback situations and their defensive situations. So you got to really think, are Alabama with enough holes, but the talent they have, but they could catch some teams off surprise with the quarterback situation because they have no game film on them. But how will the pressure handle? Because you are at Alabama. You got the landscape of all landscapes on you in the SEC. You are on a team that is known as a dynasty program, winning championships. We've seen how DJ Ugalea at Clemson handled the pressure at a major thing with the Clemson Tigers. Could we see the same thing with Alabama? That's going to be the question for your Alabama Crimson Tides to roll ties. Will the ties be rolling or will the ties be deflating? That's the question that we're going to look into. It's going to be an exciting season to keep an eye on Alabama and how the young quarterback and how the young offensive line and with some good experience of wide receiver. But how will the offensive line generate a running game? Will they gel? It might take 2 or 3 games for them to gel. Alabama could be in some serious trouble for the first time in a long time under Nick Saban. So let's move right along here to Arkansas Razorback. Today we're going to be shifting our focus to Arkansas Razorback. So we're going to be shifting here over to Arkansas and Fayetteville, Arkansas, where they had a great season last year. Let's dive right in here to this one. Arkansas Razorback, under guidance of head coach Sam Pittman, have seen a remarkable turnaround in recent years. Pittman's embrace on offensive line play has revitalized the team, leading them to a 16-win run over the past 2 seasons. Excuse me. The best stretch since the early 2010s. As they head into 2023 season, the Razorback can take another significant step forward. Despite facing a challenging schedule last year, Arkansas secured a bowl game appearance, demonstrating their growth and competitiveness. Coach Pittman's formula of solid offensive line and gritty performance paid off. This year, the Razorback looks to build upon their progress with a more manageable schedule and a talented roster. Arkansas's offense has some familiar faces ready to lead the way. Both returning stars, quarterback DJ Jefferson and running back Raheem Sanders will play crucial roles. Under the guidance of new offensive coordinator Dan Enos, known for his success tenure at Maryland, the Razorback attack is expected to move chains effectively. Sanders, who ran for an impressive 1,443 yards and 10 touchdowns last year, will be a force to be reckoned with in the backfield. Quarterback DJ Jefferson, dual threat ability. Evaluate if that dual ability, but listen to this. He had 2,700 yards passing, 640 yards rushing. Will that be a cornerstone of the offense? Returning offensive lineman strength under Pittman will provide protection, open for the playmakers. Arkansas receiving core, however, underwent a significant change, creating opportunities for emerging talent like Isaiah Stanigi, Janad Wilson, Sam Molbeck. To step up, these young receivers must fill the shoes of departure veterans, and their success will be crucial to the team's offensive efficiency. On the defensive side of the ball, the Razorbacks are determined to improve upon their 2022 performance. The defense shows resiliency despite its challenge with experienced players and transfer additions like Terajan Jeffcoat and John Morgan. They are poised for growth. While there are voids to fill in the linebacking core due to departure, young talent like Chris Paul Jr. are ready to step up and contribute. The secondary led by standout quarterback Dwight McLaughlin and safety Hudson Clark aims to shore up the passing defense that struggled last season. Arkansas's defensive line is blocked by Trajan Jeffcoat, a Missouri transfer who adds depth experience to the front. The team will rely on hits, pass rush, and proven secondary play to enhance their overall defensive performance. Let's look at the bigger picture for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Needs to address is their performance on third down, allowing opponents' conversion rate of 45% of third downs attempts, put an extra pressure on the team, making wins more challenging to come by. Improving this aspect of their defensive games will go a long way in determining their success. The Razorback lost some valuable players, including standout tight end Trey Knox, while gaining talented transfer like Trajan Jeffcoat to boost their defense. The challenge for the Razorback is maintaining their consistency, taking advantage of their talent roster, and secure victories. Let's check some of the comments here. Rob Scott saying I'm on fire. Yes, man. Yes, sir. We're on fire here on the All Sports All Plays Network. You also, I forgot to do this. You can support us by sending some stars to the All Sports All Plays Network. That will help you bring more content like this and more up and coming features for the All Sports All Plays Network. If you want to chime in and help out, send us some stars on the All Sports All Plays on Facebook. You can go over our YouTube and subscribe there. If you're on our Facebook, go ahead to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So there we go. Take care of the little formalities on the comment section part of the other day. Let's move right along here. This season, pivotal game is their clash against LSU on September 23rd. After a close loss last year, the Razorback will be eager to reverse the trend and make a statement against their rivals, but this game could set the tone for the rest of their season. Now let's highlight some of the key players to watch for Arkansas Razorback. Quarterback DJ Jefferson, we already mentioned. Running back Raheem Sanders, we mentioned him too. All will continue to be the focal point of the offense, while defensive talents Dwight McLaughlin and Trajan Jeffcoat will anchor the defense. Setting the 7-win total seems reasonable as we projected their season. The Razorback can succeed expectation with an improved schedule, consistent defense. However, they must manage challenges and capitalize on their strength to reach that goal. So, I am kind of eagerly to follow their journey on the field to keep you updated on their progress during the season. So we will be timing in on that on the Arkansas Razorback. Let's talk a little bit about Arkansas Razorbacks season last year. It was very improvement. It showed what this coach has done is putting in his tail, and the players are reacting to him. And you like to see that from programs that hadn't had great success in recent years. A coach comes in, puts his marks in there, and people are getting there. He's getting his talent in there. He's got some key players that came over from the transfer portal and Jeffcoat, which was a big game for them in the defensive side. The offense has still got to improve on the KJ Jefferson. Dual threat. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He's a dangerous person. So if the defense get out of the defensive ends, get out of their alignment, you might see long runs from them because sometimes when they play man-to-man defense and the ends don't take care of the tackles don't take care of the ends, boom, he can roll right out, and boom, and then the ends are on rushing their lanes, he's gone. It's just a fact. Arkansas could be a dangerous team unexpectedly in the SEC. Now, some of the SEC usually the fans are probably not going to agree with me, but I'm going to tell you like I'm just saying down the facts. I'm just giving you the facts. That's all. I think Arkansas is going to could have a better year. 7 wins, yes, maybe 8, pushing 9, maybe. It's a little bit of an outreach for 9, maybe 7 and 8. Anything lower than 6 could be a failure for them. Getting back to another bowl game, good chance. But we'll see how they produce here and there. So let's move right along to the next team we got coming up, and then it's going to be the Auburn Tigers, the War Eagles, what the Auburn Tiger fans call. There was some stuff in the news saying that the fans are now allowed to go back and throw their tradition toilet paper in the tree. I don't know who stopped it last year or what. Or maybe the pandemic still going on or what was going on. But I guess somebody poisoned the tree or something. So they kept it blocked off last year. The reports came out yesterday that Auburn Tiger fans are now allowed to throw their traditional TP in the tree. Tradition, college football is all about tradition and passion. That's what the college football, and that's why I like college football. The passion, the camaraderie, the chirping, the fan base chirping at each other, trash talking. It's all about college football and plus great tailgating. That's just my tips right there. But the Auburn Tigers. Let's go here. Auburn Tigers coming up. So I am excited to break down all the details you need to know about the Tigers' journey this year. The Auburn Tigers are ending the 2023 season under the leadership of new head coach Hugh Freeze. Freeze is known for his offensive prowess and has a track record of success and ambition vision for the program. While the Tigers faced some struggles in the past, the fresh start aims to propel them back to the top of the SEC. Hugh Freeze is no stranger to underpinning expectation. He's orchestrated thrilling victories over powerhouses like Alabama, demonstrate his ability to turn programs around quickly. While the Tigers may wait to achieve championship glory, the goal is to build a foundation for the future. The Auburn offense is poised for significant transformation under the guidance of Hugh Freeze and offensive coordinator Philip Montgomery, known for their innovative, high-scoring attack. The duo aims to elevate the Tigers' offense from mediocre to magnificent. The quarterback position is a key focal point to see the departure of TJ Finley, but welcomes Michigan State transfer Peyton Thorne. Thorne is proficiency, the deep ball aligned well with Montgomery's offense philosophy. His ability to stretch the field and connect with a talented receiving corps will be pivotal. Auburn receiving corps, which includes emerging talents like Javarius Johnson, Corey Moore, boosted explosive playmakers accepted to thrive in the new system. Several impact transfers from the portal added depth and experience to the offense. The Tigers' ground game, which excels last season, will miss standout rusher Tate Disby. However, Jacquez Hunter emerges and Brian Betty, arrival from University of Southern Florida, can't talk this morning, provide optimism for a solid rushing attack. The offensive line, although undergoing changes, has the potential to become a cohesive, effective unit. On the defensive side of the ball, The arrival of the defensive coordinator, Ron Roberts, signals a commitment to improving the unit's performance with an emphasis on generating turnovers, implementing effective schemes. Auburn's defense aims to complete its revitalization of the offense. The transfer portal has significantly impacted Auburn's defense, particularly along with the defensive line transfer like Justin Roberts, Jalen McLeod are expected to blossom the front and improve the pass rush. Linebacker Cam Riley and experienced secondary players like DJ James, Nim Pritchard will enhance the overall defensive performance. Auburn's success with the season hinges on the key factor. Reducing turnovers in a competitive SEC landscape, protecting football is paramount. A more disciplined, efficiency approach on both sides of the ball will be crucial for the Tigers' secure victories. The challenge for Hugh Freeze and the Tigers is monumental as they need to negotiate a demanding schedule that includes matchup against some of the college football's most elite programs. While immediate championship aspiration may not be realistic, but the path to success begins with building a competitive and consistent team. The game against Cal on September 9th emerges as a pivotal early season clash, as a road game against a formidable opponent with a matchup will test Auburn readiness, indicate their progress under Hugh Freeze. A win here could set a positive tone for the season ahead. Looking at the talent on the roster, several key players will be instrumental in Auburn's journey. Quarterback DJ James, Neem Pritchard, running back Jaquez Hunter, and quarterback Peyton Thorne are expected to shine as we continue setting up the win total of the 6.5. Their sense of continuity, optimists, while the Tigers are the transitional phase with the combination of Hugh Freeze coaching experience and talent infused from the transfer portal results in a better than expected season. And there you have it. That is the preview of the Auburn Tigers, as well closing monitor, the journey here. We're going to closely monitor that program analysis. All right, Dre. I don't know if you saw the link yet or not, but all righty. Our co-host came in. He said that he will be ready for our first show of the season. So he's still in this little rest mode. He's got to get prepared. You got to know us Navy folks. We always got to be prepared, get ready, and get ready for that first game of the season. You don't want to lose his voice like I probably end up going to lose my voice this season, maybe. But we'll see how that goes. But, Dre, we are here to tell you about the Florida Gators. Yes, the Florida Gators. We're going to come up with the Florida Gators for you today. We're going to be talking about their ability here and their few minutes here in just a moment here. Got to collect my thoughts on the Florida Gators. I just want to phrase it just a little bit here about the Florida Gators. I don't want to give Dre any things I'm talking bad about his team or anything like that, but I'm going to get my thoughts a little bit collected right now here for that. So, the Florida Gators are on the clock. When I come right back from this commercial break, we'll be talking about the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs are the next two SEC teams. Can Georgia or Florida derail the Georgia Bulldogs in that traditional Halloween matchup? We'll have the latest when we come back. I'm going to keep everybody in suspense. So when we come back on the All Sports All Place college football breakdown on All Sports All Place Network, Dre, stay tuned. I will break down your Gators for you. Be right back.
All sports, all plays. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays. Network. Hard sports all plays. Network. We on top of our game. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Place college breakdown on the All Sports All Place Network. I am your host, Ray Cruz, and for the next few hours here, we're breaking down the SEC, the Sun Belt, and we're going to tuck in some of the Pac-12 movements coming right up here on the All Sports All Place Network. Let's look at it here. Let's start with the Florida Gators here. I collect my thoughts a little bit here. Let's start with the Florida Gators looking for bounce back after several disappointing seasons. Head coach Billy Napier in his second year at the helm, aiming to steer the Gators back to their winning ways despite challenges in recent years. And history shows that Florida is no stranger to success and determined to rise again. Is Florida on the rise again? The Gators offense under the guidance of new offensive coordinator Rob Sales has shown promises. While quarterback Anthony Richardson was a standout last season, the quarterback position now has some uncertainty with transfers and newcomers vying for the starting role. Graham Merced, they transfer out of Wisconsin, and Jack Miller are among the contenders, and their success will play significant roles in the team's offense output this season. Florida's offensive line and skill position have potential, but the offensive line faces substantial overhaul. The bar has been the unsung hero of the team's success, and their cohesiveness will be crucial for the Gators' offense success. Playmakers like Ricky Paracel and the dynamic tight end Brock Bowers for the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't know why he's in this thing here. They're poised. The receiving course on the defensive side, the Gators aim ratified the past year's struggles with new defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong, and focus will be generated turnovers, stopping opponents on third down, improvement runs defense. Players like Percy Undermill and Jason Marshall will lead this turnaround. So the Florida Gators. Let's talk about a little bit about the Florida Gators here. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Florida Gators here. In the past few years, Florida Gators have not really looked dominant enforcing-wise and defensive side of the ball. They had some good defensive players, correct. But they were giving way up too much and playing to their opponents. They played okay against Georgia last year, not to the standards of that series. Do they have the talent this year? We don't know. We don't know what the offenses are going to be like. We don't know what Napier's got up his sleeve. We don't know how good the quarterback's going to be. We know that Wisconsin transfer quarterback Mertz, how his ability that he played at Wisconsin was okay, but he had some inconsistency on his passing. So that's got to be a little bit of a shock a future shock of that core right there. And then the offensive line, we got to see how good they're going to gel. There's some questions on this Florida Gators offense right now. It's a lot of holes. Do they have a receiver that's going to step up? We just don't know. We don't know how that's going to be taken. We don't know how that's going to be predicated. We don't know how that's going to be. Um, what can we say? We just don't. I just don't get. I can't put a finger on how Florida is recruiting right now because I'm gonna tell you straight out. Florida is a hotbed for some good recruits, especially at IMG Academy, which is only about an hour from the Gators campus. How do they need to go into an hour away and tap into that school with all that talent there and keep them in the state of Florida? We know IMG school brings people all over from the country in, best talent into the state of Florida. And they might not have been raised here and stuff like that, but that is a tapping stone for the Gator right there down the street, an hour away from the campus. Now, it comes to the players down in IMG Academy. If they want to go to Florida, if they want to stay here, or they want to go back to whatever school or whatever school recruiting them. But I mean, Alabama has come in there and tapped some of them players. You know, other schools has come in and tapped some of their players. But Florida Gators has that advantage because they could go down and recruit, not right there an hour away. I think Napier's recruiting strategy has to be within the state of Florida, trying to get players. But you got a competitiveness here in the state of Florida. You got UCF competing. You got UFF now, University of Southern Florida, who's now moved up into a bigger league. They're going to compete for some recruits. You got Miami down there, down South Florida, competing for the Florida recruits. Florida State competing for the Florida recruits. University of Central Florida is competing with them Florida recruits. So there's a lot of colleges competing for these Florida recruits, but the University of Florida has a advantage on all of them. They're closer to IMG Academy. Why don't they tap in? Why don't they go down there and try to tap in to get some of the talent from down there and keep them in the state? What can we say about the Gators? I mean, they got a bright spot in Parasol as wide receiver. The unknown factor, once again, has creeped up to the Florida Gators. This reminds me of the year that Jim McElwain had some talent, but not talent, couldn't put the talent together. Is Bill Napier following that same strategy as McElwain? I know you got Florida Gator fans don't like the analogy right there, but to me, I feel like that's coming down to the pipe this year. But like we say here on the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown Show, college football, you get momentum, can do everything and turn your inefficiencies down. But on paper, this Florida Gator team does not look good. But how good can they be? Are they going to compete in that East? Or will it be Georgia again taking the East? It's a lot of teams like Tennessee's up and coming. Kentucky's, I'll give it to them last year. They were up there, but some games they didn't look like they were moving that up top. Tennessee gave Georgia fits last year. Milton's taking over for that Tennessee. We're going to talk about them later on down in the show here. But let's talk about Georgia. Let's talk about the arch rival of Florida Gators. Let's talk about the Georgia Bulldogs this season. Now let's turn our attention to the Georgia Bulldogs. This team has dominated the college football landscape the last season with a perfect record and a national championship under their belt. Head coach Kirby Smart continues to lead the Bulldogs, and the expectation remains high for another successful campaign this season. Georgia's offense have often overshadowed by their exceptional defense as well as oil machine last year. The departure of offensive coordinator Tom Munkin means Mike Bobo, a familiar face, is back in the fold to guide the offense for the Georgia Bulldogs. The offensive line, a powerhouse unit, paved the way for a potential rushing attack and a efficiency passing game. Running back, Jaguars, it was Kendall Milton, Brandon Robinson from a deep talent backfield, ensuring the ground game remains strong. Brock Bowers, Layden McConkey are back to lead the receiving corps, joined by a key transfer like Dominic Lovett and Ryer Thomas. The quarterback position is up for grabs with Stetson Bennett's departure. A trio of talented quarterbacks, including Brock Vandegrift, Gunnar Stockton, and Carson Beck, will compete for the starting role. The success of the Georgia's offense will depend on the cohesiveness between the quarterback and their playmakers. Let's talk about both. The Florida and Georgia will face their own challenges and opportunities in the 2023 season. For the Gators, the key will be finding consistency in their ground game and quarterback performance. They aim to climb the SEC rankings with a revamped defense and renewed focus on fundamentals. Yes, I mixed in the Florida Gators with a little bit of the Georgia perspective there. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs have a rich history of success, are coming off a remarkable national championship win with an explosive offense and formidable defense. They are looking to maintain their dominance and defend their title. Let's take a look at the Georgia defensive dominance. Georgia Bulldogs football for the unexpected season will be formidable. Georgia is known for how their key players and strategy will influence the seasons ahead. They have to replace NFL-bound talent and a challenge even perennial powerhouse like Alabama and Ohio State faces regularly. The Bulldogs are no different with 19 defensive players drafted over the last 3 years, including 5 in the previous season alone. Yet the coordinator duo of Will Muschamp and Glenn Schumann is set to prove they're powerless again, armed with wealth of talent and a stellar track record. Despite losing likely NFL starters, quarterback Khalid Ringo and safety Christopher Smith in the secondary has potential to be even stronger this season with the safety trio of Malik Starks, Javon Bullard, and Tyke Smith. It's set to evaluate the defense to the next level. Starks finishing third on the team with 68 tackles can disrupt the backfield, while Bullard's skills make him a potential first-round pick. Kamar Lassender steps up as the new top corner with the addition of Smoke Bouye from Texas A&M and the emergence of sophomore Dalen Everett, filling crucial roles in the secondary. Linebackers Samil Monan, Jamon Dewis-Johnson have proven to be dynamic and disruptive force. Their combined 146 tackles, 17 tackles for loss in the previous season highlights their potential impact, but the departure of Nolan Smith and Robert Bill opens doors for Chaz Chamberlain to make his mark on the outside. The defensive line is no less intimidating, with Warren Brunson set to contribute with the tradition established by Jordan Davis and Jalen Clark. Brunson, along Nazir Stackhouse and Zion Lugan, will anchor the interior and continue to stifle the opposing offense, and adding to the pass rush, and Malik Williams added extra pressure to the front line. A crucial aspect of Georgia's success this season is maintaining a positive turnover margin. History has shown that the Bulldogs are often victorious when they emerge on the winning side of this statistics. One of the pivotal games on the schedule this year clashes Tennessee on November 18th. Despite a 6-game winning streak against the Vols, this showdown could decide the fate of the SEC East. Wrapping up, the Bulldogs here are set to continue their dominance with the influx of transfer talent and development of assisting players poised and prevail them another remarkable season. So, with that said about the Georgia Bulldogs, their successes will handle on if they have a quarterback in Carson Beck, who showed a little bit of promising last year on some mock-up plays coming in for Stetson Bennett. Showed that he can run the offense. He's been in the offense for a while. I think it's his job to lose at this point. But is he the talent enough to take this team to with Stetson Bennett left? The defense has got some holes to fill. We told you some few defensive players that have to step up and play their responsibility. So you need to really understand the concept of what Georgia has to do. They have to reload. Great teams reload. Great teams don't fall off. They reload and they play outstanding football. We will find out if Georgia has recruited very well the last few years to replace a lot of holes that was left by players going to the NFL and graduating. Georgia still has the team that can play against Alabama, has a team that can win the SEC, has a team that can win the national championship again. But the question is, all looks good on paper, but you have to perform under the lights on that field. Can Georgia really do that? All right, and next up, we're going to be talking about the Kentucky Wildcats. So we're moving right along through the SEC right now. We have the Kentucky Wildcats here. So we got this going on here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's dive right into the outlook of the Kentucky Wildcats football team as they gear up for the upcoming 2023 season under the guidance of head coach Mark Stoops. The Wildcats have found a rhythm of success, boosting a string of winning season, consistent bowl game appearance. Stoops has undoubtedly played a crucial role in transforming the program from a history of struggling season. The Wildcats has enjoyed 6 winning campaigns in the last 7 years, a feat that not even Alabama and Georgia can claim. The coach has effectively stabilized the team, culminating in 6 double-digit win seasons, a remarkable achievement. Last year, the Wildcats finished a solid 7-6 record, although the Music City Bowl loss to Iowa overshadows their effort. While the SEC is a ruthless battleground, Kentucky's ability to maintain level of success amidst a tough competition is an accomplishment in itself. Now let's move into some specific of their offense or the Wildcats' reasons to be optimistic with quarterback Devon Leary leading the charge. They poise a dynamic passer, capability of delivering deep balls. Leary's skill set is unexpected to bring a new dimension to their offensive attack. However, the offensive line will be crucial for Leary's success. Last season's issue in pass protection, the running game hampered offense. Marquise Cox, Cortland Ford, addition from the transfer portal are set to blossom the line to provide much-needed upgrade. In the backfield, departure of Chris Rodriguez means Ray Davis, Judon McClain will be shortening the rushing duties. Davis, a transfer from Vanderbilt, brings experience and a proven track record as reliable running back. Young but promising, the receiving corps is back with a vengeance. Baron Brown, Trevor Robinson, and Dane Key are poised to make a significant contribution, supported by tight end Jordan Dingle and Josh Caddis. On the defensive front, the Wildcat has consistently proved their powerless, despite losing a key anchor like Justin Rogers. Transfers like Keon Silver, Joshua Hayes are permitted to make a difference. The linebacker crew, led by J.J. Weavers and Jackson, continues to be a force to be reckoned with. A strong rotation, including newcomer like Teron Wallace and Devin Rainer, enhance the team's defensive depth. The secondary may have lost some starters, but Jordan Lovett and Jaquez Hardaway are expected to hold their own, ensuring the pass defense remains solid. But unfortunately, the Wildcats' key to a success this season lies in their ability to convert on third down and sustain a productive running game, and addressing these areas will be essential for their overall offensive efficiency. Let's take a look on the Wildcats season here. Are projected to be in the mix for a bowl game once again. With a consistent winning tradition, Kentucky's success anticipates to continue the team's resiliency, stability under Stoops, sees them exceed the 7.5 win mark, possibly 8, maybe 9 at the pushing it, potentially aiming for that exclusive 8 wins around to round out another successful campaign. Let's talk a little bit about the Kentucky Wildcats here. Their success over the last six out of the last 7 years, unremarkable for the Kentucky Wildcats. What Stoops has done there has turned around this program and create a tradition now at Kentucky. They're still there as known as a basketball school. We got that. We understand that. But they're now changing that perspective a little bit to a football school. They're starting to get some recruits in now for football. But the expectation is Kentucky needs to still compete. And then the key here is the North Carolina State Wolfpack transfer, Devin Leary. You got to keep him protected. That's some of the things that NC State did not do for Larry's career at NC State. He's been sacked a lot of times, been hit a lot of times, has been injured a lot of times. Now, change of scenery here in the SEC is going up against a better competition in the SEC than the ACC. I have to admit that. But Larry can throw the ball deep when he has time. He's accurate with the football. That's going to give another dimensional to this powerhouse running attack offense and Stoops. Now, let's talk about the consistency of the receiving core. Are we really talking about he's got to get on the same page as the receiver? So how did he transfer in? Did he take the receivers that he was going to have and go somewhere else, not on campus or somewhere off campus, and start learning their familiars of their techniques of running style, how they break out of the breaks? You know, they had to do some training together, the timing and all that, and then they had the spring practice. So that's something you got to look at for Kentucky too. You got to transfer a highly talented quarterback and Devon Leary. They transfer out of North Carolina State. But his healthiness got to be the worries for some of the Wildcats fans and coaching staff. Coming off another injury. So we'll see how that unfolds in Lexington, Kentucky here. My ear is kind of hurt. Don't you feel sometimes you get something in your ear and it itches and stuff like that? So, all righty. Let's move right along here to LSU. Louisiana State University, the Tigers, known as LSU. The Tigers are gearing up for the 2023 college football season under the guidance of head coach Brian Kelly, who is now entering his second year with the Tigers. The team shows signs of resurgency and potential for an exciting era ahead. It's no small feat to success in challenging landscape of the SEC, but LSU has managed a commendable 10-4 last year under Kelly's leadership. While they didn't clinch the national title, the Tigers' performance was testament to their return to relevancy after a somewhat challenging period post that historic 2019 season. The Tigers are in a great position moving forward with Brian Kelly at the helm. LSU seems poised to embrace the new college football playoff expansion, potentially opened up more avenues to a national contention. The offensive unit is showing signs of strength, averaging an impressive 453 yards and 35 points per game last season. And with the most key players returning, including star quarterback Jalen Daniels, the Tigers offense could very well be a force to be reckoned with. Daniels, a fifth-year starter, is a key figure to LSU's offensive scheme. His ability to deliver deep throws and manage the game effectively makes him a significant asset. However, LSU must ensure he remains healthy throughout the season to maximize his potential impact. The running game is another area that needs to shine. The Tigers have an array of talent in running backs, including Josh Williams, Noah Kane, and transfer Logan Diggs. By spreading the ball around and maintaining a productive ground game, LSU can diversify its offensive strategy and keep defense guessing. On the receiving end, Malik Neighbors and Mason Taylor leads the charge, ensuring that the Tigers continue to have potential passing game. LSU's offensive firepower is primed for success with experienced targets and a solidified offensive line, and that includes Will Campbell and Emory Jones. Defensively, the Tigers are looking to make an improvement. The front seven, led by standout linebacker Harold Parkins, will be essential in disrupting opposing offense and applying pressure. The return of Mason Smith, who missed most of the season due to injuries, could be a game changer for LSU defensive line. The secondary is an area to watch with players like Denver Harris, Zy Alexander, expected to step up and make their mark. With the right pieces in place, the Tigers defense can rise to an occasion and contribute to the team's overall success. As LSU aims for a successful season, the key will be maintain a solid running game and ensure that players like Daniels and Perkins stay healthy. The Tigers' schedule is manageable with an opportunity to excel in conference play and splash for the national stage. LSU clash with Alabama on November 4th is undoubtedly a highlight, offering a chance for the Tigers to continue their recent success against the Crimson Tide. This game could play a pivotal role in determining their postseason aspiration. With all the pieces in place, the Tigers are poised to exceed predict about 9.5 wins total. LSU could substantially impact the SEC beyond if they stay focused, make intelligent decisions on the field, and stay healthy. LSU last year gave a lot of fits to a lot of teams with the outstanding quarterback and offense and the defense harassment. They pushed some limits to certain teams like Alabama. They pushed the limits to Georgia. They pushed the limits to teams where that just because the quarterback is mobile and the quarterback is very intelligent, can throw deep balls. Now, if they get the running game going, and like I said, if they get the running game going, they're going to be unpredictable on the offense. You got to take away from the passing, boom, the running game goes. If you take away from the running game, passing game goes. So if they stay focused and Brian Kelly keep their attention on their offensive end, the defense plays their part, we could see another high-scoring LSU team. But the dimensional of the offense not being one staggered, one passing heavy, and can't run the football. But if you can run the football, you're going to have forced team to put 8 men in the box to stop the running game. That opens up your passing game. Now, do they use the pass game to open up the running game? They could do that too. But teams are got to be interesting. How can they stop and slow down LSU's offense? Will they come in and take over the West this year? Alabama's going to be good. But Alabama still has holes in their quarterback situation, their offensive schemes. How will their defense hold up? So we're going to be talking about that with that later on in the season as we break down the teams coming up to week 1 of week. I call it week 0. Everybody calls it week 1. So we will see the start of the season here in just a couple weeks. Let's bring on the Mississippi Bulldogs. The 2023 college football preview embrace a new era. Ladies and gentlemen, The Mississippi State Bulldogs' upcoming 2023 season, college football season, is a bittersweet moment as we discuss the program's future following the passing of the legendary Mike Leach. Let's just remember his family in prayer and all the people that were affected by Mike Leach passing unsuddenly. The college football world mourns his loss, but as we move forward, we can't help but acknowledge the legacy he left behind. Under Coach Leach, Tulich, the Bulldogs were on a cusp of something exciting. His unique offensive approach and resilient teams create a big buzz. While he didn't achieve conference championship during his tenure, but his impact was undeniably. Now it's time for a new chapter in Mississippi State football. Zach Arnett, a talented defensive coach who has worked wonders at San Diego State, is stepping into his shoes left by Mike Leach. At just an age of 37 years old, Arnett is taking on the challenge of maintaining a program's momentum and building upon it. Arnett inherits a team that was beginning to hit its strides under Leach's guidance. The 2022 season saw the Bulldogs notch a solid 9-4 record, showcasing their growth potential, while Leach's signature air raid offense garnered attention. The defense quietly became a force to be reckoned with. Zach Arnett's defensive paralysis at San Diego State makes him a natural fit to continue to strengthen the Bulldogs' defensive unit. His expertise in shaping aggressive and disciplined defense could maintain an even more formidable Mississippi State team on that side of the ball. However, the challenge that lies in replicating Lynch's offense innovation. Lynch's coaching brilliance was characterized by his ability to maximize his players' potential and his unique offensive system. Filling the void left with his absence will be challenging, but its presence an opportunity for a new offensive strategy to emerge. While there may be some uncertainty surrounding the offensive game plan, one thing is certain: Mississippi State defense will be a force. And expect a hard-nosed, well-organized unit that can disrupt opposing offense and create game-changing plays. So let's go to the comments section here. Dylan says the show is hot. Yes, sir. We're getting hotter and hotter here. On talking about the SEC here. I'd say keep joining us here on this heading into the SEC conference right now. We're talking about that, so we are moving right into the pressure here of the SEC. Moving down, some of the teams there are expected to play some significant roles in the SEC. But we're talking about Mississippi State with the loss of Mike Lynch last year. Unexpectedly, we got to keep his family in prayer. But the pressure will be on Zach Arnett, and it's undeniable taking over a legendary figure in the upper trajectory of a program that was beginning to make waves and creating a high expectation. However, if Arnett can build upon the foundation laid by Lynch, the Bulldogs have potential to become a consistent contender in the SEC. But the SEC landscape is fierce with renowned coaches, formidable teams. Arnett debut season as a head coach in the conference is nothing short of a baptism by fire. But the passion and determination he brings to the table could propel the Bulldogs to new heights. Mississippi State fans can expect a tradition growth and adoptions to a season while shadowing Mike Leach's legendary looms large in this opportunity for the Bulldogs to embrace challenge, honor his memory, and create a new era of Mississippi State football. So we had a lot of talks about Mike Leach in coming here in the show here. Jay says strong and fire. Yes, sir. We're keeping it on fire. We're keeping the momentum that the throwing hands from last night. Throw it right onto the network. We're keeping the momentum going. We're starting a new momentum today. And the show starts it off right off the bat. So let's keep it going all throughout the day here on the All Sports All Place Network. With our great shows coming up from behind with the afternoon blitz. So we're about an hour and 10 minutes into the show here. We are down to near Missouri, but Mississippi State Bulldog. Let's not take it for granted here. Let's not take it for granted. I want you to not take this for granted here. Mississippi State Bulldogs could be a team that might upset some teams in the future of the season. Teams might not want to know this, but you come into Starksville and you underestimate Mississippi State. They could possibly upset you. Now, we talked about how their offensive system. We won't know what the offensive system is going to look like. Everybody's comparing for the air raid. Mike Leach's offense was unique in the air raid. He knew what play to call and what time to call it. And teams could not rely on past history because Mike Lynch will put a nuance in on that air raid that you have not seen before. He was just that great of a coach. So you got to really understand the concept with the passing of that great coach and the offensive mind he had. They got to replicate some of the stuff that he did, yes. But can they make some minor changes to mix it up where they can get complacent? And that's in the mind. That's the thing that I want to see. To continue to grow in the SEC, you have to compete with teams like Alabama, Georgia, LSU now. Tennessee's on the rise. Kentucky's on the rise. Florida, we still in a little doubt. Dre, I'm still in a little doubt of Florida right now. I got to see how they play out the season. But the SEC, from top to bottom, really, there's no games you can take a day off. Maybe Vanderbilt until they can start getting some wins. But other than Vanderbilt, some of these teams are starting to make strides in the SEC. But Arnett has come in now, has to be what you call baptism on the fire. Way to start making your name right in the powerhouse conference of the world. Most people think the SEC is. Big Ten fans, you got some to say. But we can say for sure, do you think that Mississippi State can do that? Time will tell. But we got some time consumed. Let's go ahead and continue right along with Missouri Tigers. Let's break down the Missouri Tigers here on the 2023 football season preview. Continue going on. In recent years, the Tigers have been striving to return to their former glory when they were forced to be reckoned with in college football. The program seeks that breakthrough moment as they head into 2023 season. Not too long ago, Missouri enjoyed a remarkable success in the SEC, competing in conference titles games, coming within reach of a national championship game. However, recent seasons have been characterized by inconsistency, unfilled potential. Since 2014, the Tigers football program has navigated through changes, traditions into the SEC, experienced ups and downs under Coach Eli Durkowitz. The team has shown promises, but has yet to secure a winning season or a bowl victory. With a solid starting lineup, decent recruiting, and an opportunity to make strides, there's hope that Missouri Tigers are on the cusp of resurgency. On the offensive side of the ball, new offensive coordinator Kirby Moore brings expertise from Fresno State, where he helped orchestrate an efficiency potential passing attack. The Tigers quarterback competition will be fierce, with players like Brady Cook, Jake Garcia, Sam Horn vying for the starting role. Missouri receiving corps looks promising. Despite the departure of Dominic Lovett, Luther Burton, Mookie Cooper will be key targets for the new starting quarterback. The Tigers' running game aims for improvement, anchored by a veteran offensive line, includes Javon Foster. Defensively, Missouri boosts a stout interior line with Darius Robertson, Joe Moore anchoring the front. The linebacker core is expected to create big plays with Tyron Harper and Chad Bailey leading the way. In the secondary, quarterback Chris Abrams Drain is a standout performer who consistently disrupts passing plays. Safety Javon Carlos, another veteran, brings experience and stability to the defensive backfield. The key to Missouri's success lies in the efficiency of its passing game. The team's wins have historically been closely tied to solid aerial performance, consistent production through the air. Could be catalyst for a winning season. Transfer like Marcellus Johnson from Eastern Michigan and Theo Wees from from Oklahoma, add depth and playmaking ability for both sides of the ball. Excuse me. The Tigers' schedule presents challenges and opportunities aimed competitiveness. SEC, while a victory over Kansas State early in the season could set a tone, the team will face tough matchups against LSU, Florida, and others. If Missouri can rise to the occasion in crucial games and avoid mistakes, a season with 6 or more wins and a bowl appearance could be within reach. But as the Tigers takes the field for the 2023 season, the goal is clear: to reclaim their place among college football elite, make strides towards a brighter future. And we were talking about when they played in the Big 12. To me, I think they stride a little bit in the SEC. I think that kind of handle. I think they're getting SEC talent maybe now. So we could see them in the bowl game for the first time and since they've been in the SEC. So you got to really watch out for Missouri. They could be a team on the rise for the season. So we'll see how that turns out. Let's go ahead. Let's move right along. We got some time constraints. We got to move right along here. Ole Miss Rebels in 2023 football season preview under the charismatic leadership of head coach Lane Kiffin. The Rebels have been making their marks in the SEC with their explosive offense, ongoing effort to shore up their defense. Despite face tough competition in the SEC, Ole Miss has managed to secure its place among the top programs in the conference, boasting impressive victories and offensive prowess that has made them a force to be reckoned with. Kiffin's unconventional and bold approach to coaching has yielded results, with Rebels being third winningest program in the SEC over the last 3 seasons. The Ole Miss offense, under the guidance of Kiffin, has consistently ranked among the nation's best, averaging nearly 500 yards per game in 2022. With a strong returning core and impactful transfer, the Rebels are well equipped for another explosive season. At the quarterback position, Jackson Dart led the offense effectively last year, but competition for the starting role remains fierce. Spencer Sanders, an all Big 12 talent from Oklahoma State, and LSU transfer Walter Howard are all vying for that position. The Rebel rushing attack will be powered by a sophomore sensation, Quinshon Judkins, who ran over 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns last season. Albanese Bentley, another key back, adds a depth into the backfield, which they needed. The wide receiver position will see new faces. As transfer Chris Marshall and Tri Harris joins the lineup alongside returning talent of Jordan Watkins, Dayton Wade, the addition of tight end Michael Diggs, and Memphis transfer Caden Parkenhorn further blossoms the offensive options. On the defensive side of the ball, there is a push for improvement. While the defense performs reasonably well, allowing pass rush to flourish and adding key transfers like Joshua Harris and Zamir Walton will provide a boost. The linebacker core, led by Kerry Coleman and Monte Montgomery, aims to disrupt opponents' offensive with agility and pass rushing abilities. In the secondary, the cornerback Darian Prince and safety Lodarius Tennant will work alongside transfer Zamari Walton and Tariq Young to create a more substantial presence in the defensive passing attack. The Rebel key success lies in their ability to maintain a dramatic efficiency in rushing attack, elevating the pressure from their defense and controlling the time of possession. The Rebels will face a challenging schedule in the SEC with a matchup against Alabama, LSU, and a formidable opponent. However, if the offense continues to perform at its best and the defense shows improvement, Ole Miss could be a potential contender. While predicting the SEC title might be a stretch in an 8-win season, could be well within a reach for the Rebels. But as the 2023 season unfolds, keep an eye on Ole Miss as they aim to a lasting impact in the SEC and prove they are not just a flashy offense, but a well-rounded, competitive team. So Lane Kiffin's got his work cut out for him, ladies and gentlemen. So can he do 8 wins? He could. Could he do anything else? They could go down. But let's move right along. We got a lot of stuff continue to come up on the show today. Welcome to South Carolina Gamecocks 2023 season. After an encouraging 8-5 season last year, the Gamecocks are looking to continue to build on their momentum under the leadership of head coach Shane Beamer. South Carolina's journey to success has been challenging as the program has faced challenges and inconsistency over its history. However, the team's recent accomplishment, including a jaw-dropping victory over Tennessee and a thrilling win against Clemson, have ignited the hopes again among the Gamecocks fans. The 2022 season marked a 1-win improvement in Beamer's second year at the helm, and the Gamecocks are eager to continue their upward trajectory. One of the standout stories from last year was an explosive performance of the passing game led by quarterback Spencer Rattler. Rattler transferred from Oklahoma and showcased his NFL caliber arm, throwing for over 3,000 yards and displaying a flair for dramatic. While the Gamecock did lose some key receiving targets, all wide receiver star Antoine Wells returns and is expected to lead the aerial attack. The tight end Trey Knox, a transfer from Arkansas, adds another dimension to the passing game. The offensive line must improve its pass protection and run blocking to support Rattler and the rush attack. The departure of leading rusher Marshawn Lord means that the junior Jawan McDowell will take the reins in the backfield. Defensively, the Gamecock has worked to shore up their run defense, allowing over 200 yards in 7 games last season was a significant concern. Transfer like Joshua Harris and recruit from the portal will add depth to the defensive line. The linebacker core and secondary are areas where South Carolina defense can make an impact. Players like Debo Williams and Nick Imumuwa must create a game-changing plays. The key to the Gamecock's success will be their ability to win the turnover battles as it played a significant role in their outcome last year. South Carolina's season against a game against North Carolina and Charlotte will set the tone for their season. SEC clashes against Georgia and Tennessee are on the horizon. While predicting an SEC title might be a stretch, South Carolina has a shot at a 7-win season. The Gamecock has the potential to surprise opponents and provide their fans with thrilling moments. As the 2023 season unfolds, the Gamecocks fans will be watching closely, hoping the team can continue its upward trajectory and provide their way to achieving something special. So, as a North Carolina Tar Heel fan, South Carolina is one of those rivalries that back in the past, early years, was fierce. This game should be a good match for both teams to see where they're located at in their perspective against Power 5 teams. South Carolina has now Georgia and Tennessee on the horizon. So that North Carolina game could be a stepping stone for South Carolina, getting their tone wins and setting their priorities straight. So Shane Beamer's got that work cut out for South Carolina. And this year, can they continue that upward trajectory? Can they continue to win, or are they going to falter back to the old South Carolina ways? We'll find out here. We'll keep it Gamecocks on the fold here. So Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're moving right along in the SEC here. We're getting down to the last few teams here. The Tennessee Volunteers are on the clock here on the All Sports All Place Network. I'm going to take a quick break real quick here, and I will be right back on the All Sports All Place Network. And we'll be talking about the Tennessee Volunteers and more coming up on the All Sports All Place Network.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. You're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fonx D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at fonxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown Show, the 2023 College Football Preview Show on this Wednesday. I'm bringing it up to you Wednesday. Saturday, I will not be around because I will be helping my church. Our church here in Ocean Way, Assembly of God in Jacksonville, Florida. If you're in the Jacksonville, Florida area, come on out to the Ocean Way Middle School on the north side here. We are giving a big giveaway. We're giving away bags and stuff for the kids going back to school, haircuts, and much more stuff going on Saturday. So that's the reason we're bringing on this show on Wednesday, due to the fact that I will be helping out with the church and my community on the get back to school for the kids that need help to get back there, get school supplies and for family and stuff. That's a big thing I do here. I'm also the chairman of the Jessica Green Foundation for Autism. Very street charity that I support and run. So let's get back to the thing in the hands here. Welcome back. We're going to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers. Their preview after a remarkable 11-2 season last year, the Vols are looking to build upon their newfound success under the guidance of head coach Josh Heupel. College football is all about passion, entertainment, enjoyment of the game, and the precisely that Coach Heupel has brought to the Tennessee program. The Vols' recent resurgence has brought back memories from the powerhouse days in the 1990s and early 2000s, igniting excitement among their passionate fan base. And Tennessee got one of the most passionate fan base in football. After enduring a period of struggles and 3 losing seasons in 4 years, Heupel has took over and quickly turned everything around in 2022 season. Tennessee reached a new heights with an impressive 11 wins and campaign, including victories over Florida and a thrilling upset against Alabama. The Alabama game was off the chain last season. The Vols' high-octane offense, led by Heupel's offensive wizardry, capture a nation's attention. However, despite a stumble against South Carolina, the team has hunted for a playoff spot late in the season. This Tennessee team football that fans have began long for a program that competes on the highest level provides exhilarating brand of football. As the Vols enter the 2023 season, they do so to maintain their momentum and showcase another explosive, exciting play. The departure of offensive coordinator Alex Gosh, who helped orchestrate the #1 offense in the nation, will be felt. However, the new offensive coordinator, Joy Hazel, is prepared to continue the offensive juggernaut. The key to Tennessee's offensive success will likely hinge on the performance of senior quarterback Joe Milton. The towering signal caller has all the tools to excel in Heupel's system, but consistency will be a deciding factor for Milton's ability to reduplicate or suppress the efficiency of his predecessor, Hendon Hooker, will be crucial. The receiving core has been some changes with Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman moving on. However, returning playmakers like Bro McCoy, Remo Canton, Squirrel White, along with the addition of Dante Thornton from Oregon, provides plenty of weapons for Milton. The offensive line will perform decently last year to should see some improvement with the return of the key pieces and addition of Miami transfer John Campbell. On the defensive side, the Vols front seven, known for their disruptive presence, looks to continue wreaking havoc. The departure of Deton Terry leaves a void, but playmaker like Roman Harris, Amari Thomas, Brenton Edson will continue to be the factor. The linebacker core will have a new face in Kenyon Pa, a transfer from BYU, who is expected to blossom the defense. Aaron Beasley, who led the team in tackles last year, will continue to be a force in the middle. Despite losing their key contributor, experienced players like Tamarian McDaniel and Jalen McCollum are ready to step up in the secondary. The addition of Gabe Judy Ledley from BYU adds a depth to the cornerback position. The key to the Tennessee success lies in the ability to establish a strong ground game. The offense thrived when rushing the ball for over 155 yards, and Jalen Wright leading the way for the Vols could be a dual threat force. The early season matchup against Florida will be a pivotal game for Tennessee. A win in Gainesville could set the tone for a successful season. Despite the facing challenges on the road contest, the Vols have a favorable schedule that avoids some of the more favorable SEC opponents. As the 2023 season unfolds, Tennessee fans are hoping for an exhilarating moment and the possibility of a shot to the SEC championship. The Vols reinsurgent under Heupel is a reminder that a college football is meant to be enjoyable, exciting, and full of surprises. Tennessee was full of surprises last year. Yes, that Alabama game was off the chart. I watched every single minute of it, every breathtaking, every play, and that kick. Everything that went down to the pageantry of that game. So let's move right along to Texas A&M. The 2023 season seeking resurgency is their call for the day. Welcome to Tennessee. Welcome to Texas A&M 2023 season preview. The Aggies are looking to bounce back from a disappointing 5-7 season last year and regain their position among the elite programs in the SEC. The Texas A&M fans have been waiting for their team to emerge as a dominant force in college football. With a head coach like Jimbo Fisher at the helm, the Aggies have the resource, recruiting power, and the talent to reveal their best team in the nation. However, recent years have been marked by inconsistent falling short of high expectations set by the program aspiration. Despite having top-tier recruiting class, Texas A&M has struggled to harness that talent on the field entirely. The Aggies have been searching for the kind of superstar talent that programs like Georgia and Alabama boosts. The expectation set by Jimbo Fisher's arrival has yet to materialize fully, leaving fans wondering when the program will leap to consistency success. Adding to the challenge in the resurgence of the in-state rival of Texas, which is returning to the SEC, they're threatening to take some of the spotlight away from Texas A&M. Despite the frustration and unmet expectation, Aggies fans hope the pieces will fall into place, led to the success they've been waiting for. As the 2023 season approaches, the Aggies have an opportunity to rewrite their narrative and provide they belong among the SEC elite. The offensive struggle last year, averaging just over 29 points per game. However, adding Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator, bringing optimism for an improvement and more dynamic attack. The Aggies will rely heavily on sophomore quarterback Connor Wagman, who showed flashes of a promising year, established a consistency passing game, will be crucial for the offense success. The receiving core, led by returning playmaker like Aeneas Smith, Evan Stewart, has the potential to a significant impact. The running game will be anchored by super recruit Ruben Owens, who will be expected to contribute. The offensive line anchors by players like Bryce Foster, Ruben Featherby, will need to provide better protection and create opportunities for the offense to flourish. On the defensive side, the Aggies struggled against the run last year, allowing over 2,500 yards rushing. The defensive front featuring talented players like Walter Nolan, Shamar Turner must step up to stop opposing run attack. The secondary boasts new additions like Tony Grimes and Josh DeBerry, who have potential to blossom the pass defense. Senior safety Damari Richardson will be the leader in the defensive backfield. The key for Texas A&M's success will be the ability to improve its running game, become a complete team on both sides of the football. The Aggies season will be defined by their performance in a pivotal matchup, including their traditional rivalry clash with Arkansas. Despite facing a challenging schedule in a competitive SEC, Texas A&M fans hope this year will make a turning point for the program's fortunes. So, as we're getting close to the end of the SEC here, we got Vanderbilt coming up in the wings here. Texas A&M under Jimbo Fisher. What kind of things are we going to see from them? We know that Jimbo has brought a lot of pressure on himself with all the talks that he does in the media. Him trashing Nick Saban. Didn't go so very well for him. Jimbo Fisher needs to be focused on this team. They need to get better in every position, really. Both sides of the football. Defense, especially, giving up 2,500 yards runs in a season on the defense and running, you're making the team that run the ball all over you. That sets up teams' play action passing game. That sets you up for a downfall. They have to get stronger on the defensive side. Texas A&M does. If they want to compete with the teams like Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, South Carolina, maybe Kentucky, Florida, maybe Missouri. But we'll see how that goes. But we have to give our fair due here to the Vanderbilt Commodores, the team that has consistently been in the basement of the SEC teams. So we're gonna talk about them and see if they're gonna improve this year. So let's see if there's any hopes for the Commodore fans. Vanderbilt Commodores 2023 football season preview seeking progress. Welcome to the Vanderbilt Commodores 2023 football season preview. The Commodores are entering their third year under head coach Clark Lee, looking to build on recent success, take steps towards a more competitive future. Vanderbilt fans knows that their team has the potential to be a thorn in the side of more established SEC programs. While not expected to contend for a conference championship, the Commodores aims to be a disruptive force that can pull off upsets and make their presence felt. The 2022 season saw Vanderbilt secure victories over Florida, Kentucky, showcasing their potential to challenge higher-ranked opponents. The goals for this season is to translate those perspective success into a more consistent performance. Despite their lack of recent winning season, Vanderbilt experienced players and determined coaching staff believes that they can turn the program around and bring some excitement back to the Commodores' faith. The offensive struggled at times last year, but with the emergence of young talent and key players' leadership, Vanderbilt hopes to improve its scoring output and become more competitive in the SEC. The Commodore faced challenges on the defense, especially in stopping the run. However, Added talent, development key players could help shore up this area and make the defense more formidable. As the Commodore heads into 2023 season, their goal is clear: to make progress, surprise a few opponents, and lay the foundation for a brighter future. While they must be on a different level than some of the SEC powerhouse, Vanderbilt is determined to show they can compete and make their mark in the conference. So, guys, what do you think about Vanderbilt? You can put it in the comments there if you think are they going to be a thorn in some people's sides? Can they beat Florida again? Can they pull up maybe upset against Tennessee or Georgia? More likely not. Maybe Florida, maybe South Carolina, maybe Kentucky, maybe. I think Vanderbilt is that team that is a mistaken identity. They do pull some few upsets here and there and to keep themselves relevant in the SEC. I think they still could be the doormat of the SEC. Possibility. But like the thing says, you want to see growth. You want to see experience. You want to see them progress. You want to see the SEC from top to bottom be competitive. We know how that is. We know the distinct teams are usually Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Florida is all getting the mention. Texas A&M is getting that dimension now. So, I mean, you got the top 5 or 6 teams, but now you got to bring everybody else like Missouri, Vanderbilt, and all them back into. And that's why they said it's a season of progression. We want to see them progress. We want to see them be competitive in every game. They might not win every game. They might lose not, every game, but we want to see competitive football. We want to see the score not getting blown out. We want to see them provide competitive fortune and try to pull some upsets. So keep your eye on Vanderbilt this season here. Well, when we come back from the break, we are going to turn our attentions around from the SEC. Before we go into the break, I want to read a little bit of something here about the SEC, what I put down here. Sports enthusiasts, as we gear up for an action-packed college football season, we just wrapped up the exciting SEC 2023 preview. We have delivered into an anticipation matchup, standout players, and strategic insights that are set to make this SEC season one for the books. From the powerhouse programs vying for the supremacy to underdog teams with a hunger for the success, the SEC promises high-stake clashes and unforgettable moments on the field. Whether you are a diehard fan or a casual observer, there's no denying the electricity atmosphere this conference brings to games. But wait, their excitement doesn't stop here. When we come back from the break, get ready. We are shifting our attentions to the Sun Belt Conference. I know some people say we're going from a powerhouse conference to a FBS, non-so-powerful, but they do have some dynamic teams in there. And one mentioned is the Appalachian State Mountaineers out of Boone, North Carolina. So the Sun Belt Conference previews will be coming up right after the break. Stay with us on the All Sports, All Place Network and the College Breakdown Show. I am your host, Ray Cruz, and we'll be right back after this.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
is the Funks D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at funksdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays Network and the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I am your host, Ray Cruz. We have just got finished wrapping up the SEC previews. I hope you like that 90 minutes of college football talk about the powerhouse SEC. I told the SEC fans that we would get to you before the season started, and I have delivered that for the SEC. Now we're going to take our attention away from that SEC conference, and we're going to go for the next few minutes here, and we're going to talk about the Sun Belt Conference 2023 preview, where we're going to dive right into the rising stars, the teams, the dynamic and fresh narrative poised to defend the Sun Belt Conference this year. So grab your jerseys, foam fingers, your favorite game day snack, because we're about to embark on a journey through the Sun Belt Conference gridiron battleground. Prepare for your heart-stopping plays, unexpected twists, and preview that will leave you counting down the days until kickoff sticks around as we bring you the latest insights, updates from you will want to take advantage of. Get ready, folks, because the breaking news is coming. The Sun Belt Conference preview. And we're going to start with the Mountaineers of Appalachian State out of Boone, North Carolina. Welcome back, football fans. This is our in-depth preview of Appalachian State Mountaineers' upcoming 2023 season after an uncharacteristic 6-6 season in 2022 that left them without a bowl appearance for the first time since 2013. The Mountaineers are gearing up for a comeback with a renewed vigor. Starting on the offensive side of the ball, the Mountaineers find themselves aimed a quarterback competition. The battle is between redshirt freshmen Ryan Berger, junior college transfer Joey Aguilera. Both poised, undeniable, talented, setting the stage for an exciting showdown. The Mountaineers' stacked receiving core will undoubtedly amplify their ability, led by the trio of junior Christian Horn, Deshaun Davis, and Kincaid Robinson. But it's not just through the air that the Mountaineer plans to make their mark. The ground game is a staple of their strategy. It's expected to be as formal as ever, with Nate Knoll leading a deep, versatile backfield. Center Isaiah Helms and Georgia transfer Griff Scroggins anchors the offensive line, providing the stability and needed for success. But under the guidance of new offensive coordinator Frank Bontz, the Mountaineers are poised to maximize their offensive air assault and create fireworks on the field. Let's turn our attention to their defensive side of the ball. For the Mountaineers are keen on enhancing their pass rush, while challenging lies ahead, promising young talent like Marquise Clark shows potential to generate pressure needed to disrupt opposing offense. Despite the youth of their linebacker core, there is a cornerstone and tackling machine, Andrew Parker, who's set to provide leadership and stability. The secondary boosts a lockdown corner and Tyreek Funderburk, and a hard-hitting safety duo in Nick Rose and Ronald Clark. However, the Mountaineers are aiming to bolster their ability to create turnovers. Looking at the schedule, the Mountaineers face the Sun Belt, the East Division, loaded with talent. A pivotal home game against rival Coastal Carolina on October 10th is poised to be a defining moment in their season. And with the challenging road trips to James Madison and Georgia State, there's no room for underestimating their opponents. As for our prediction here on the College Sports Breakdown, the Mountaineers are poised for a return to the bowl games with a strong chance of continuing for the Sun Belt East title. Quarterback performance will play a crucial role in determining their level of success. Expect a finish around 8-4 or 9-3, with anticipation losses to strong contenders like UNC and JMU, James Madison University. However, surprise may lie ahead and waiting during conference play. All in, The Mountaineers have the talent and determination to embrace once again the 10-win form that has become synonymous with their recent years. Keep an eye on the new quarterback journey as they step up to lead the charge. We know the history of Appalachian State University. They burst on the scene by beating Michigan. They started continuing up since that time. Turned it up since 2013. Missed a bowl game last year. 9 years of consistently going to bowl games. For a smaller school as they have putting pressure on North Carolina. They have beaten North Carolina in North Carolina before. This game will be in Chapel Hill. North Carolina knows they can't take this team lightly, or else they'll get beat again. Straight up, they have to be more political. But the pressure of the defensive side of the ball, it looks like it had an upgrade from last year. They do have two great dual safeties who can knock the piss out of you. Excuse my language. Appalachian State needs to concentrate. They need to concentrate on that side of the ball. They need to keep their stuff really, really contained on the defensive side. Now, the quarterback is going to be a crucial spot for them. That's just plain and simple. It's going to be a crucial. Can then two quarterbacks do what they need to do to propel their offense? And they got talented wide receivers at the core, and they got a great running back. The running back's got to establish the quarterback confidence, really. To me, to get the confidence in the quarterback early in the season, you have to start out with throwing some screen passes to get the confidence in the passing game. That's how they have to think about how they ease this quarterback into the situation to give them talent and then sustain. If they get success at the beginning and get that momentum going, then it's going to be hard for other teams to kind of slow them down a little bit. But Appalachian State, for a smaller school, a smaller brand, puts a fear in everybody's when they see them on the schedule. It's just the fact that what they did in the previous history. Let's move right along to Arkansas State, the Red Wolves, and the Coastal Carolina Chandeliers in the 2023 football season preview, aiming the redemption and glory. Football enthusiasts, let's dive into the upcoming 2023 for Arkansas State Red Wolves and the Coastal Carolina Chandeliers. Both teams want to make their mark after challenging seasons and are gearing up for a resurgency. First up, the Arkansas State Red Wolves are struggling through a 5-19 record over the past two seasons. Head coach Butch Jones is determined to steer the team back into his winning ways. This comes after a remarkable streak of 9 consecutive bowl appearances from 2010 to 2019. On the offensive side, the passing attack receives a significant boost with an addition of Tennessee transfer quarterback J.T. Stroud. He'll have a strong target with wide receiver Corey Rucker, who's back after a year at South Carolina. In the backfield, running back Brian Sneed, Jarquez Cross from a solid duo all through the ground game needs improvement. A key focus with enhancing the offensive line, the performance in both run blocking and pass protection. Shifting the defensive line, the Red Wolves are undergoing a reconstruction of their defensive line around transfer defensive tackle Mickey Bland from Auburn State. The linebacker core led by Malik Starker and Jalen Harris promise playmaking potential, but the pass rush requires reinforcement. Quarterback Trevor Thomas and Eddie Smith led a skilled secondary, although they will miss the contributor of departing quarterback Keith Harris. Mark your calendars for the Sun Belt opener as the Red Wolf hosts Southern Miss on September 23rd with the challenging matchup against UMass Louisiana at home, a formal road trip to Oklahoma and Marshall. The Red Wolves are in for an intense season. The prediction for the Red Wolf? If the passing game under Stroud finds its rhythm, Arkansas State should be on track for a bowl game. However, concerns linger on the defensive front, and Coach Jones needs to turn those narrow losses into victories. Except expect a finish around 6-6 overall with the 4-4 in the Sun Belt play. So let's move from the Red Wolves over to the Coastal Carolina Chandeliers, who's going to enter the 2023 season under a new head coach and Tim Beck. The Chandeliers are coming off a strong 9-4 season in 2022 and are hungry for another run at the Sun Belt title. As usual, the heart of the Chandeliers offense resolved around quarterback Garrison McCall. Beck's arrival may introduce some style changes, but McCall's accuracy and playmaking ability to continue to provide explosive production. An additional firepower comes from running back C.J. Beasley and wide receiver Sam Pickett, while the offensive line undergoes a rebuilding phase with the potential for upward growth. The Chandeliers defense, primarily the secondary, seeks significant improvement from facing struggle defending against the pass last season with the arrival of safety Jawan Powell, a transfer from East Carolina University, and Charles Arnold should evaluate the capabilities. The linebacker core, anchored by J.T. Killen, boosts their strength, while the defensive line, led by Braylon Ryan, has athleticism despite some question marks. Coastal Carolina faces a challenge on the road trip to Georgia Southern, Appalachian State, and Army. Key home games against Troy and South Alabama will be crucial in the Sun Belt East title bid. The prediction that with the defense steps up, Coastal Carolina will likely achieve a double-digit win again, especially if with the stellar performance of quarterback Garrison McCall. Look for a finish around 10-2 overall, clinching the Sun Belt East with a 7-1 or 6-2 conference play record. So, with the departure of the head coach going to Liberty, who took over for Hugh Freeze, they considered that a step up for him, really, from Coastal Carolina up to Liberty. But with Tim Beck coming from, I guess, he came from NC State. Now going to run this show here as a head coach. It's really, I think it's maybe his first, second head coach since then. Chandelier's got that capability in Conway, South Carolina, outside of Myrtle Beach area. A great place to play. Definitely recruit because you got the beach area there, even though summer's coming down to a close. Great tourist attraction. But with the Chanticleers' recent past history, being ranked and playing in consistent football games, are now a reliable force on getting up to that same caliber Appalachian State really is known in the country. Could cause some major upset problems for some teams this year and get back on that winning track. But it's all going to be hounded to keeping Garrison McCall healthy. That's the key for the offense. The offensive line has to protect him, make him stay upright, and keep him healthy for them to have a good season. If he goes down with injury, that season could tank. So we'll see how that continues right along. We heard a lot of mention about Georgia State Panthers. We are now going to go to Georgia State Panthers here out of Atlanta. They play. So let's talk about Georgia State Panthers, the football 2023 season preview, bouncing back strong. Football fans are prepared to dive into anticipation, excitement surrounding the Georgia State Panthers' upcoming 2023 football season after a challenging 4-8 campaign in 2022 season. Head coach Sean Elliott and his experienced teams are geared up for a resurgence. The Panthers' offense will be led by a dynamic duo quarterback, Darren Granger, who has repeatedly proven his talent, although the passing game needs to fill the void left by top wide receiver Jamari Trash. The team has many options. Marquise Carroll takes the reins of a deep running group, and an offensive line is poised to take a step forward in protecting Granger. The defensive side of the ball is in a mix of rebuilding and promising talent, with the departures of safety Atavius Lane and Covinium White, with the secondaries undergoing reconstruction. On the other hand, the linebacker Jordan Venzel and Contrary Hunter, known for their tackling prowess, forms a formidable backbone. The defense line is pinning hopes on a junior JUCO and an FBS transfer, including Henry Bryant, who merged strengthening from the front quickly, generating a more effective pass rush and a clear priority. Crucial matchups are on the horizon for the Panthers. They can't afford a let winnable game slip through their fingers this time around. Key losses up games against Troy, Marshall, and Appalachian State at home, and a road challenge against Louisiana, Georgia Southern, and Old Dominion will test their mentality. And that's what the prediction for the Panthers 2023 season is. With Danny Granger leading the charge, expect the offense to put up some impressive numbers. Coach Elliott could guide a Georgia State back to a bowl game if the defense improves. Anticipation for the Panthers finishing around 6-6 with a 4-4 in the Sun Belt play. That's a lot of words right there. There's a lot of ifs and buts for Georgia Southern, but they could be on that cusp of making 7-6, 6-6, 4-4. We don't know. We don't know how good they will be on their defensive side. That's the question mark for them. I think they should contend a little bit here, but we'll see how that comes in. All right, let's go to the big James Madison Dukes 2023 preview. Say aiming to continue excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, football enthusiasts, James Madison Duke fans, get ready for an inside look. What is in store for the Dukes in their upcoming 23 season after a sensational debut in the first FBS season, going 8-3, 6-2 in the Sun Belt. Dukes are determined to prove that 2022 season was no fluke. On the offensive front, the Dukes boost one of the Sun Belt's harshest lines, providing a solid foundation for the team's success. Running back like Latrell Palmer will be crucial in picking up the ground. The quarterback position is up for the grabs between Arizona transfer Jordan McLeod and Wake Forest Brett Griffiths, creating an excitement competition leading to the reload receiving core is top wide receiver Reggie Brown, who brings experience and leadership to the team. The defense, which dominates in the previous seasons, aims to continue its excellent ranking 5th nationally. This fierce unit is a force to be reckoned with. The D-line, spearheaded by James Carpenter, shows tendencies and determination. Linebacker Terrace Jones and Jalen Walker, all known for their tackling paralysis, making them crucial assets to the team. Quarterback Chancey Logan headlines a sound secondary, adding the depth reliability to the defensive structure. The Dukes will be tested in a mix of challenging matchup road games to face formidable opponents like Virginia, Troy, Utah State. Coastal Carolina will undoubtedly put their skills to the test. Especially crucial are the home matchups against Georgia Southern, South Alabama, and Appalachian State, which could provide decisively in their journey. As prediction, it is clear that the defense will maintain its elite status. The key lies the offense becoming more consistent. James Madison University should be poised to push a double-digit win if happens. With their eyes on the future and desire to leave a lasting mark, expect the Dukes to finish around 93-84 this season and their final pre-bowl season. So let's go to Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns, aiming for the Sun Belt glory. That's what they're calling this season for. Football fans, get ready for an in-depth look into the Raging Cajuns have in store for the 2023 season under the guidance of head coach Mike Devereaux. After a 7-7 campaign, the Raging Cajuns are determined to return to their winning ways and make a strong push for another Sun Belt title. On the offensive front, the dual threat quarterback Chandler Fields, Ben Woolrich are set to command the field once again. The success of ground games will heavily rely on the effort of running back Traylon Washington and Terrence Williams. The experienced offensive line is expected to provide the necessary support. However, the wide receiver position remains a question mark after the departure of top target Michael Jefferson. Turning to the defensive side, the Raging Cajuns are looking for veterans to step up and become new playmakers after losing key contributors. Linebacker Casey Osei is set to lead an athletic defensive group focused on creating more disruption for opponents. The defensive line, anchored by Sonny Hazard, and the interior promise to be informal, rebuilding the secondary around safety Tyrone Lewis. On the schedule includes crucial road games, matchups, Sunbelt West rivals, South Alabama and Troy. Home games against Southern Miss, Georgia State, and Old Dominion will play a crucial role in determining this team's bowl hopes and aspirations. While maintaining their ability to put points on the board, the Cajun success will hinge on the defense ability to reload and step up the challenge. Louisiana is well positioned to secure a bowl appearance as the season unfolds. Expect to finish at 7-5 overall with a strong showing of 5-3 in the Sun Belt play. So we're going to go ahead and take another break here. Coming up on the horizon, the Marshall, the Thundering Herds are on the rise. Will they compete in the Sun Belt? Will it be defending their East title? Will this be the Marshall year? Can Marshall do what they need to do? Come and find out. Stay tuned on the All Sports All Plays Network and All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I am your host, Ray Cruz, and we'll be right back.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fonx D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at fonxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays Network. I am Ray Cruz. I am the host of the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown Show. He's getting ready for that season. He's got to get pumped up, man. That dude he's awesome. He's an awesome guy to work with. He's great, great friend, great comrade, great brother, Navy brethren. You know, go Navy, beat Army. So we're getting ready to break down now the Marshall Thunder Herds as we went to the break here on the All Sports All Plays Network. I am your host, Ray Cruz, again. Marshall's 2023 season, they said, defending the East. Football enthusiasts, let's divulge ourselves into the upcoming season for the Marshall Thunder Herd. Led by a third-year head coach, Charles Hoff. Coming off an impressive 9-4 record in the 2022 season, the Thundering Herds are poised to be strong contenders in a highly competitive Sun Belt Conference division. What does the Thunder Herds got a little bit here? On the offensive front, the dual threat prowess of quarterback Cam Venture will be at the forefront. However, the offense seems greater consistency. Running back Rashid Ali, returning from injury, will be a key factor in the ground game. Anchored by center Logan Osborne, the offensive line brings experience to the table. More playmakers must emerge at the wide receiver position to provide Fincher with reliable targets. Shifting gears to the defensive side, The Thundering Herds defense provide its mental at last season, allowing just 16.2 per game and ranked 7 nationally, while the defensive line is undergoing a rebuild. Defensive tackle Taquaz Legs is set to showcase his dominant presence. Linebacker Eli Neal leads an line athletic defensive unit. Cornerback Mitch Abraham leads one of the Sun Belt's premier secondaries. The Herd schedule is challenging with the matchup against formal opponents like North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, demanding road trips to ECU, East Carolina University, and Coastal Carolina. The importance of a home Sun Belt game against James Madison and Georgia Southern cannot be overstated. If the offense can evaluate its performance and has the potential to achieve double-digit wins once again, however, the team faces a daunting schedule. Despite the challenge, expect around 8 wins and a strong push for a bowl bid. In Sun Belt play, Marshall is projected to finish a solid 5-3, 6-2 record. Well, we're going to go from the West Virginia and Marshall area down to Hampton Roads, Norfolk, Virginia. They call it the Hampton Road area. Yeah. Old Dominion Monarchs are located off Hampton Boulevard, which is one of the toughest stretches in Norfolk area. Football fans, let's take a closer look at what's the upcoming 2023 season holds for the Old Dominion Monarchs, who faces a challenging 3-9 seed campaign in their inaugural Sun Belt season last year. But the third-year coach, Ricky Ryan, is now tasked with a rebuilding team that lost key offensive weapons. On the offensive side of the ball, the Monarchs face a crucial task of finding a new starting quarterback, given the departure of Hayden Wolf, DJ Mack, and Brandon Clark. The veteran Keyshawn Wicks anchors the running back position, while the offensive line has changed due to transfers. The wide receiver and tight end positions require unproven options to step up to fill the void. Turn our attention to the defense. Linebacker Jason Henderson, who recorded an impressive 158 tackles in 2022 season, remains a tackling machine and a crucial asset. However, the defense needs additional support as it navigates challenges losing defensive tackle Alonzo Ford and Chaz Wallace. Pose a challenge for the front line. The secondary is thin after significant loss, with safety Jerry Jones as a key anchor. The Monarchs have a key game, including a pivotal opener against Virginia Tech. Additionally, victories against Louisiana, Georgia State, or Arkansas State at home could provide significant momentum for the team. But given a new quarterback to step up and the defense to reload, the Monarchs might encounter further struggles for their fans. However, Coach Ryan's leadership suggests the team achieves a 3-4 wins in the season. Anticipate another challenging campaign with a projection of a 3-9, 4-8 win. Sorry, Monarchs. Sorry, Hampton Roads area. Had to do that too. Too much holes. Too many holes. They got to fill. They're reloading both sides of the ball. They're not reloading just one side. They're reloading both sides. So that's going to be a really effective for their thing. So that's got to be a really, really contingent. But let's move right along to South Alabama and Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. High hopes, promising season for both football enthusiasts. Let's dive deals. Exciting progress with these two teams in the Sun Belt Conference of Alabama and Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Both teams are poised to build on their recent success and pushing for more accomplishment in the upcoming 2023 season. Starting with South Alabama Jaguars, they entered the year 3 under guidance of Coach Kane Womack. After a remarkable 10-3 campaign in 2022 season, the Jaguars have their sights set on contending the Sun Belt title once again. The Jaguars offense boosts a strong foundation with quarterback Carter Bradley, who led an effective unit with almost everyone returning, including a dynamic running back duo of LaDamian Webb and Braylon McReynolds. The Jaguars' backfield is set to make an impact. The offensive line is also expected to shine, protecting Bradley and aiming their ground game. Wide receiver Calhoun Lacey and Devon Washington provide a reliable target for Bradley's pass. The South Alabama defense is nothing short of fierce, particularly against the run, allowing just 95 yards per game last season. Key players like defensive tackle Thomas and linebacker Trey Kitchener continue to team solid defense in the secondary. Quarterback Trey Douglas and safety Yam Banks and Jaden Washington forms a formidable unit. The Jaguars' schedule includes challenging early road trips to Tulane, Oklahoma State. Conference matchup against James Madison, Louisiana, and Troy are also expected to be tough contests. As for the prediction for the Jaguars, they have the talent to push for double-digit wins and contend for a Sun Belt title once again, while matching years' achievements will be challenging. They remain a significant threat. A production finish of a round 93 with a conference record of 6-2, reasonable expectation. Turning our attention to Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles, who entered the year 3 under coach Will Hall. The Golden Eagles had a breakthrough 76 record in 2022 after a determined push for another bowl bid. The quarterback competition is wide open, but Golden Eagles' ground game is capable hands with Frank Gore Jr. leading the way, adding new running back Rodriguez Clark and a Memphis transfer adds even more talent to the backfield. Wide receiver Kaysen and Ty Mims provide serious threats while the offensive line is working on improving their pass protection. The Golden Eagles defense faced challenges of replacing top rusher Dominic Guzman. Linebacker Hayes Maple returns from injury to lead the season. And cornerback Jalen Harrell is a standout player. The secondary, however, requires some rebuilding, emphasizing limited time. The key matchup for the Golden Eagles includes Sunbelt road trips to South Alabama, Louisiana, and Troy. Winning home games against opponents like Texas State, Old Dominion, and University of Louisiana Monroe will be crucial. With an offensive capability of putting up significant points and the potential for the defense, reloading Southern Miss is expected to secure another bowl win, but a projection finish of around 7 wins with a conference record of 4-4 seems within reach. So there you go for the Southern Miss fans. Still moving with time constraints because I gotta get this show moving towards the end because the afternoon blitzer will be coming on after us. I don't want to take away from their show either. So let's move right along to the University of Louisiana Monroe. The Warhawks navigating a rebuild, a modest challenge. Our expectation of the Sun Belt continues. We focus on the University of Louisiana Monroe Warhawks under the guidance of Coach Terry Boughton. The Warhawks are gearing up for their third season with the high hopes of turning the tide on the back-to-back 4-8 campaign. The Warhawks offense faces rebuilding after the departure of key contributors to the transfer portal. Quarterback Jalen Wright steps into a pivotal role, aiming to establish himself as a consistency passer in the absence of Challen Rogers. Wide receiver Tyrone Howell brings a deep threat potential in the passing game. However, the offensive line has to cope with some losses starting offensive tackle Victor Cutler, and ground game is in search for a proven option. On the defensive side, edge rusher Kennard Snyder stands out as a player who can provide a much-needed pass rush. Rebuilding the defensive line is utmost importance following the departure of two starters. The secondary leads by quarterback Lou Turler and Deuce Mayberry holds promising and potential. University of Louisiana Monroe key game includes crucial home matchups against Army, Arkansas State, pivotal in their pursuit of a bowl bid. Winning on the road against opponents like Texas State and Georgia State could significantly impact their season. Despite the challenge of depth concerns due to operation, Coach Bowden is expected to guide the Warhawks to a 4-win season. A projection finish around 3-9 or 4-8 is likely, with the anticipation of making more significant strides in the following year. Hey, as we ended a break, I'm going to go into another break here momentarily. the 2000 Sun Belt Conference. Let's make a moment to reflect on the exciting matchups and impressive performance that have graced the field. The teams have battled fiercely despite the display of their determination and skills in pursuit of victory. The Sun Belt Conference has once again proven to be a platform showcasing the talents of both players and coaches alike. On the national scene, significant changes are coming in afoot in the college football landscape. A considerable shakeup has hit the Pac-12, consider as several members have decided to departure for our new destination. Members are leaving for the Big 10, Big 12 meetings, alternating the dynamic of college athletics. This rebuilding and present the competitive nature in college sports and strategic decision institutes makes to position themselves successful. In addition, we're going to talk about the recent news in the ACC, where president of members universities have convened discuss important matters. Among the discussion is the evaluation of Stanford and California, the two renowned institutions with stories athletic programs. As the ACC president deliberates their options, it's clear that these decisions carry weight and will shape the future of the landscape of college football. We'll be right back on the All Sports All Place Network on the All Sports All Place College Breakdown. I am your host, Ray Cruz, and we'll be right back to take care of the Pac-12 and the decision of discussion. We're talking about the ACC. We'll find out what's going on there when we come right back.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making a plays. You're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the diamond in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. Authenticity, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fonx D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at fonxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Place Network. I am Ray Cruz, and we are now going to get back to the college breakdown show here. We're taking our options away from the breakdown of the previews of the Sun Belt and the SEC. We're moving into some news here. Welcome back to the college breakdown show. I am your host, Ray Cruz, and let's talk about here the shakeup of the Pac-12. It's a shame what is happening in college football right now. The landscape is moving to these power conferences. We knew it was going to happen. It's all about the money. The show there has been quite a shakeup in the Pac-12 conference. I'll be happy to discuss some recent developments and changes that have taken place. Could please provide more specific information here? This will help you to hear of the discussion of the top forum here of the day. The Pac-12 conference losing members to the Big 10 and Big 12. So let's talk about it here. The Pac-12 conference, once a powerhouse known for its richest history, championship legacy, is now facing an uncertain future. 5 of its members schools have announced their departure, leaving the conference in a dire state. The Pac-12 has been dealt a staggering blow as Washington, Oregon, 2 of its founding members, dated all the way back to 1916, have taken a surprising leap to join the Big Ten Conference. This move, set to take effect August of 2024, has sent shockwaves through the college sports community. But the audacious didn't stop there. The Big 12, seeing an opportunity to act swiftly, and managed to secure Arizona State, and Utah from the Pac-12. This unexpected departure of 5 schools has left the once proud conference reeling with only 4 remaining members: Stanford, California, Oregon State, and Washington State. The Pac 12, once hailed as the Conference of Champions with a storied history spanning over a century, numerous NCAA championships under its belts, now finds itself struggling to survive. The inability to secure a lucrative media right deal and a struggling match, the financial paralysis of the Big Ten and Big 12 have played a significant role in this downfall. But the decline of the Pac 12 can be traced back to the year ago when traditional powerhouse USC and UCLA decided to part for the Big Ten. However, the pivotal moment came when the Big 12 managed to lock an early extension of its media deal with ESPN and Fox last fall. This strategic move granted the Big 12 the stability and leverage needed to pursue schools from the Pac 12 aggressively. But the departure of Oregon and Washington is practically painful due to their status as a charter member of the conference since the Pacific Conference originals. This most disruptive, the fabric of Pac 12 athletics serves long-standing rivalries that have shaped the landscape of college football. With our 4 institutions left standing, the Pac 12 future looks bleak. The era of super conference has dawned upon college football. Unfortunately, the Pac 12 is emerging as one of the earliest casualties. A conference with over a certain century of history, tradition, and non-teeter extensions, unless it can swiftly attract new members, institutions to bolster its rankings. This abrupt reshaping of college sports landscape is a stark reminder change is inevitable, and even the most established institutions can face uncertain fate. Stay tuned as we follow development stories its far-reaching implication of college athletics. We are in line on going college sports realignment saga coverage. Today, we are diving right into the latest from the ACC, where the presidents and chancellors of the conference have convened to discuss potential shakeup. Let's get right into this. In a pivotal meeting, the ACC leadership gathered to deliberate on possibly welcome Stanford and California into their ranks. However, despite the high stake, no vote was cast during the session. But source close to the matter reveals that ACC is exploring the prospect of integrating these 2 Pac-12 institutions. Still, defectively decisions are expected to take time to make. These moves by the ACC comes at a crucial juncture amid its growth discontinued within the conference. Certain member schools are considering their options and weighing that possibility of leaving. A fast approaching deadline of August 15th has been set for the schools to notify the ACC if they intend to departure by 2024. Notably, Florida State has been particularly vocal about its dissatisfaction with the current state of the conference revenues. Proceeding with the caution of ACC is trending, carefully prioritizing thorough evaluation, the financial implication accompanying such a significant change. The process begins with a call involving the athletic directors on Monday, followed by a Tuesday's president's meeting. The upcoming discussion with the athletic directors are expected to deliver deeper into the financial aspect of the potential move. Yet the path forward could be more straightforward, adding Stanford and California necessity, approving the 12 out of the 15 member school within the ACC. While the allure of enhancing academic presidency is undeniable, there needs to be more consistent regarding the financial feasibility of these expansions. These issues, such as travel costs, must be carefully addressed to ensure the successful integration. The ACC president's meeting still evaluates Stanford and California. Unlike some of its counterparts, the ACC has been relatively quiet and aimed tremendously realigning landscapes with a contract that extends through 2036 to any school considering exit face steep financial penalties. These situations has limited the options available to the schools contemplating departure. However, certain ACC members are prioritizing stability these uncertain times. They believe that including Stanford and California could provide much needed steadiness. Even with the financial gains are only apparent after this some time, the ACC recognized the unique opportunity to present by the struggles of the Pac-12, aim to capitalize on the chance of incorporating distinguished athletic brands, yet the complex of decision-making process unfolds gradually with this measured approach. As the college football world evolves, the ACC internal deliberations shed light on indicating the dance factor of determining these major realignment courses. Stay tuned as we monitor this situation closer and bring you further insights as development. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up this exhilarating 2023 college football preview, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all of you who tuned in. The excitement in the air is probable as we can stand on the cusp of another incredible college football season. As the summer days winds down and August 19th, 2023 approaches, marks your calendar for the next edition of the College Breakdown Show. Our team at the All Sports All Places is dedicated to bringing you at least insights, analysis, and passion for the game we all love. So as anticipation builds and the countdown begins, let's embrace the spirit of camaraderie that college football ignites in all of us. Until we meet again, thank you for joining us today. And good morning, good afternoon, and get ready for kickoff. See you again on the All Sports All Plays Network. This is the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I am your host, Ray Cruz. And August 19th is our next show here at 9 to 12. We're back on Saturday. So I'll see you then. Have a good night. And see you later.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.